at the mill, have you seen anyone around there recently who's not normally in the area? Travellers?
Seems to think, not really.
Have you noticed any weird smells around the mill in the last couple of days?
He blinks and sort of looks at Arenoss with a curious glance. Says, maybe. How so?
Any smell of rotting flesh?
He seems to think and slowly nods. Yes. There was a few days ago, sort of a smell that's as if something had died and crawled into, basically bloat and ripen under the floorboards. We never did find anything. We guessed it was a rat or perhaps a beaver or something from the river, but we didn't find anything.
All right. You say under the floorboards?
That was what we thought, but as I said, we didn't find anything.
All right. How many days ago was this?
Shrugs. 2-3 days.
All right. And was it there for a couple of days, or did it disappear after a while?
We aired it out.
All right. I see. Nothing else? Any weird noises? You didn't see anything in the river that looked weird?
In the river? He sort of
Yeah.
thinks, I don't really look out on the river much.
Yeah.
Unless we do keep a lot of timber in the river, and some of it comes down river from the woodcutters, but no, generally not.
You didn't see anything move in the river that looked suspicious or something like that?
There are fishes and things moving in the river all the time. No, I can't remember anything.
All right.
Was anyone at the sawmill acting strangely?
What do you mean strangely?
Just a bit out of the ordinary for what they would normally do. The way they speak, the way they acted. Or just slower than they normally would at work, for example.
Yeah.
Seems to think, no.
Your partner didn't act any strange in the last couple of days, seeming nervous or something like that?
He blinks. No.
All right.
I was doubting it'd be Harker. What's happened to Harker, he definitely couldn't do it to himself.
No. I was
You
thinking...
can roll. You can roll for insight.
All right. God damn it.
Yay!
I have a worse modifier.
Whenever the DM says that you can roll for it, be like, no, passive. And
Really, your passive, you should go with your passive 17, Arenoss.
I should, yeah.
You're quite sure that last statement, he didn't tell the truth. Again,
Are you sure there was
arts,
no one?
his eyes dart around and sort of he's licking his upper lip and has begun to start to sweat a bit.
Oh, so it's very obvious then.
Yes.
Well, if we go it with a 9 and 10, it should be quite obvious.
Yeah. Are you sure he wasn't acting suspicious in any way? We need to know if we are going to find this murderer so he doesn't kill anyone else in town.
I don't think it has anything to do with it, honestly.
Tell us anything you know. Anything can be of help, and we'll take away suspicion from you.
He sighs. Well, Harker was... sort of seems to search for the words. Harker was... He was in love with money, all right? And he has been sort of cooking the books for some time. Basically taking too much money for the work and skimming away the top of it for himself. He has done this for several years.
All right.
He looks around and these Scarnettis who owns the mill. I don't think they would take kindly to such a thing if they found out. I of course never participated in any of this. I wouldn't, but I knew of it.
All right.
They have burned down several competing mills in the region, and if they found out, maybe they found out and hired someone to make an example out of Harker. I don't know.
Do you know who they were owned by?
The Scarnettis is one of the noble families in town, led by Titus Scarnetti.
Yeah.
And
I've heard some rumors about them before.
Sort of out of character knowledge, Titus Scarnetti, you have most likely, or some of you might have run into him before. He is one of the sort of leading noble families in town. And they are quite confrontational and quite sort of conservative in their political views. And he is sort of the main sort of political rival to the current mayor, Kendra Deverin. They are most of the time battling it out on the political arena.
Yeah. Hmm. Maybe we should investigate some things about the other murders and see if the Scarnettis might have ties to them as well.
Not
If we find ties to both, that would definitely be a possibility.
We shouldn't confront the Scarnettis immediately, though. We should try to keep this from.
Don't confront anyone until we have evidence.
Yes, we shouldn't mention this to anyone.
Iberthorn says, I never took part in any embezzlement. Like, you must believe me in this. I don't want to die. I never took any money. You pretty sure he's speaking the truth? He seems honest enough.
All right. I certainly believe you, and we won't. Or I can say I won't charge you for anything of that matter, but that is up to the sheriff.
I see. Can I go? Am I free?
Don't think that's our decision.
No. We'll talk to the sheriff and see what his decision is.
He nods. I see.
And I'm sorry that I can't help you anymore.
Thank you for speaking with us, and if you have anything else you can remember, please tell us.
So he shakes his head. It was just so much blood. I went up there. I tripped on something. I think it was, and sort of swallows a bit of flesh or something. I fell into it, and the stench. And he gets a bit pale, and you're afraid he might start to throw up.
Calm down. It's okay. It is a horrifying thing for anyone to see, even if they've seen similar things before.
He nods to himself. I see. Well, I guess I am here if you need to speak to me further.
And if you do remember anything, be sure to tell the guard to come get us.
He nods. Very well. Though I don't know what more I would be able to tell you.
You might remember something after the shock has passed. And Arenoss will step out.
Okay.
Will you lock the door again?
Yes, I will.
All right, the door locks.
Well, we should go meet up with the others, I guess.
Well, that could have been more successful, at least with one of them. Looks over at Ben's door.
Well, at least we got some information.
I guess we better go find everyone.
Yeah.
Alright, walking out of the garrison, Arenoss and Erevan sees Sheriff Hemlock coming down the street.
Convenient.
Too convenient, perhaps.
Hello, Sheriff.
He nods. Arenoss, Erevan. Glad to see you. How's it going?
Well, not terrible, I guess.
I see. Well, I just came from a quite infuriating meeting with a good sage. His ramblings are... He shakes his head.
Ah, yes.
But it seems that rune you found was some sort of important symbol of some ancient empire or whatnot.
Yes. Yeah. Saloro talked a bit about that.
So did you get anything that is directly useful to the situation?
What he said was that the symbol is quite rare, and whoever carved it in must have special knowledge. He
we shouldn't talk about this out in the street, I don't think.
He looks around. I suppose not. Oh, this, by the way. He sort of nods and fishes for something inside his pocket and reaches over a sturdy key towards Arenoss and Erevan. This is the key to one of the cellar doors in the garrison. For the first murders, we brought the bodies into town yesterday, and they are locked up in the cellar. If you want to take a look at them, here's the key to the room where we keep them.
Certainly, and we probably want to know everything about the first murders as well.
He nods, certainly. If you join me at the garrison in my office, I will try to explain what we know of the first murders.
Of course.
That would be great. Thank you.
Do you want to gather any more of your party, or should we?
Maybe the others should hear this as well, I think. So
very well. I'm on my way to give an update of the situation to the mayor, and that shouldn't take too long. If we can meet back in my office in half an hour, say.
Of course, and we shouldn't speak about anything out in the town. I will explain later.
Very well. See you then. And the sheriff walks away down the street.
Right. I guess Arenoss will go to the Sagely bookstore then.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, Erevan. I guess we'll go back to the sawmill temporarily. See if anyone's still there.
All right, back at the sawmill. What has Roldar and Alvyn been doing?
Alvyn has been wandering around pretty much aimlessly, trying to find anything that looks like a clue, but probably not being very successful. But he's not one who likes talking to people, so he might as well try to do what he does best and just look around, even though it's not being very successful. He looks quite frustrated.
Roldar will probably have been standing on the loading dock, just even like still standing there from when the rest of the party left, trying to figure out, looking up and down, looking for other buildings, potential like docks and other areas where it could come in, or perhaps to the other side, looking at beaches and stuff like that it could have came from.
Mm-hmm. So you can make a perception check.
So Roldar, where are you?
Does he engage Alvyn in any of this searching?
Oh, he'd be pointing out to Alvyn, talking to him as well. Woohoo, better than passive.
Yes, I suppose.
Nice. Yes, along this sort of line of thinking, Roldar and Alvyn sort of, takes a gander up and down the river to see if there's any possible place. They do notice, actually, that on the other side of the water seems to be a small sort of gathering of trees and bushes growing. And Roldar realizes that if that could be a quite well sort of effective place to hide, actually.
Alvyn,
So,
do you think we should go over there now?
Evan looks at Roldar. Well, they are just bushes. There could be anything, but I guess we could take a look.
It's worth a try. The rest of them are interrogating people. Gives us something to do.
Ah, true enough.
All right. Making your way to the other bank of the river, you come upon the small collection of bushes and trees. Drawing closer, you notice that it seems, first of all, to be a relatively dry spot where someone could possibly be hiding for quite some time without getting sort of wet of the river or the marshes outside of the river. Drawing closer and inspecting it, you do notice quite a number of barefoot, what seems to be human tracks around this spot, as if someone has been hiding here for quite some time. You also notice that standing in the spot, you will have quite a clear view of the sawmill and anything going on there from this side of the lake.
Are there any tracks or anything that would give us more information about who or what or when someone was hiding here?
Well, there are barefoot tracks, sort of from bare feet.
Just to make sure, you don't mean an actual bear, but...
Bare feet. Barefoot.
Okay.
Someone standing around with no shoes.
Okay.
Got a bear's foot.
Yes. A lingering stench of what seems to be rotten flesh permeates this sort of gathering of bushes.
Someone made earlier about a comment of undead. The smell of rot would give that idea, don't you think?
Alvyn frowns.
Unless it's something magical, but might be something ghoulish.
I guess it could be. I'm not looking forward to having to deal with undead after having dealt with goblins and demons and
It would be a challenge. Are you able to see any further tracks from here leading into, well, anywhere?
Alvyn looks around but doesn't really find, like, there are obviously tracks sort of around this spot, but he doesn't really find the place where the tracks supposedly leave it.
Alvyn looks at Roldar and shakes his head.
Roldar stands up and has a look around himself and probably sees, if not less.
Well, it had to have come from somewhere to be here, unless it's been here for quite some time. What we could do is we could potentially stake this place out, but only if it'll come back.
Alvyn shrugs.
You should spend some time around here and look around, especially if you've noticed something's been here. Maybe we'll find something of value.
Well, chances are the party is going to come back eventually, and if we are not around, they won't be able to find us if we are just wandering off into bushes and undergrowth. I don't know. Maybe we should just meet up with the party and talk about our options.
Of course, but we can always see if they return from here. We have quite a good view, actually.
Alvyn thinks for a moment and says,
Roldar
well,
sort of
true
turns and
enough.
looks up and down.
True enough. Let's take a quick look around. and I guess we will take a look around.
A more thorough investigation, finding any form of tracks.
Do you want another check, Jonas?
The DM's abandoned
Silence.
you.
Well, sheep, it's just us.
It's
Okay.
you can make. I was muted. You can make another check.
So you said the footprint looked a lot like a bear print, or bear, just as in like nothing, no
Yeah.
footwear, just like a human. That
Yeah,
was just,
Yeah, barefoot. Searching around and doing sort of more thoroughly, Alvyn does believe that these sort of tracks, they do enter this little gathering of bushes and trees, and they leave them. Both of these tracks lead to the river. Excuse me. So it seems that whatever entered this place came from the river, and when it left down into the river.
Can we see which direction of the river the prints go?
It seems they're entering, when they're sort of entering the grove, they enter from the south. When they left, they go towards the mill, straight towards it.
Okay. That's not very helpful, but better than nothing, I suppose. I guess unless we find anything else, there's only one option, and that's to head back to the sawmill and see if or when Erevan arrives.
Well, I hope I arrive. Some like time portal.
Erevan disappears. You never see him again. All right. Heading back, you do indeed see Erevan entering the sawmill.
Hey guys.
We'd like to thank you. Ken and Roberta Williams would like to thank you for partaking in, D&D quest for.
The quest for Erevan.
Say, hope you play again or something.
Roberta Williams. Oh, Phantasmagoria. What a strange
Just
and
to
violent
say-
game you were.
Roldar will be making no effort to hide himself at all while on the other bank. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone that goes into the sawmill out to the landing dock will see Roldar on the other side.
Sure.
Well, first thing I'll check upstairs, check basement. Where are they? Loading dock. Okay.
Yep. You see them poking around on the other side.
I guess I'll call across to them Roldar, Alvyn. Can you guys hear me?
Alvyn looks to Erevan, but doesn't shout back, because why bother?
Roldar turns his head and sort of waves a big arm over at Erevan just to acknowledge that he heard.
Can you come back over here, please?
Bone Alvyn, we best get going.
Alvyn nods.
So I swim across.
Don't
With Alvyn on your
swim,
shoulders.
just plunge into the waters.
Isn't there
Alvyn
like a
riding.
bridge, like a couple of meters away?
Yeah, sure are.
Alvyn will take the bridge.
With chainmail.
Oops.
Hmm.
Oh dear. Well,
It's fine. I can swim.
that's Roldar. Gone
It's fine.
for
My new armor doesn't give
Ken
me armor
Roberta
power.
Williams would like to thank you very much for.
Unfucking believable.
Those were days when adventure games would kill you.
Press the fucking swim key whenever you enter the water, Griff. Press the swim key.
Thankfully, it's a Goliath. I get to re-roll. I roll a 1. Blub, blub, blub. Roll a 20. Oh, this is easy.
Push himself out of the water at 20. Like, woo!
Freaking dolphin.
You push
guy.
yourself out of the water so hard you incur falling damage. What?
Pushes himself 10 meters into the air. Like, whoa!
lands on the
Flies
building, just sort of
massively.
climbs up it, you know?
Which I must say, I was quite worried when you said that Warlord trained by running over roofs in Sandpoint. I hope you required the owner's, permission to do it, because Roldar is
Bang, bang, bang.
heavy.
But he's a hero. He can do whatever.
Oh, that's Roldar, man. He's running.
Is anyone actually going to stand up to Roldar?
Make sure you don't, encounter a weakness. Like, we just recently repaired the roof. It's a little weak and sagging here.
Crash! Roldar comes falling straight into the dinner table of his
Yeah,
friend.
I immediately
Crushes
thought
6
of
people as well.
that.
You guys have a hole in the roof.
I
I
found
immediately
you.
thought of that intro from The Office when they
Oh,
doing
I gave you
hardcore
guys a
parkour.
new skylight.
Oh dear. Well, Roldar comes swimming over in a gush of water. And
Everyone will tend to avoid getting wet from leaving.
it's it's like a huge mangy dog sort of climbing out of the water, just shaking it everywhere.
There's the one.
I'll get 20.
Oh.
Well, it comes out 20, but...
It's calm water, so even with the 1, I mean, you still got
Yeah,
it.
you need 10 for calm water, so...
It's true.
Mm.
It should have been.
Isn't one an automatic failure?
Nope.
No, it isn't actually.
Ah.
Not
No.
Not in skills.
you would think so, but no.
Mm. Good, I guess.
Nevertheless, Roldar clambers up on the landing bay again.
Alvyn eventually comes running around the corner. Once everyone shows up. We need to go to the garrison. We're going to talk to... Well, whoever is witnessed to, or at least knows information about the first murder. See if we can see if they're connected in any way.
Oh, right. Lead the way then.
Arenoss will also start heading in this direction when he finds out that they have left the siege.
Yep.
Oh, too late. We've already left.
I would assume that he would have figured out that they had already left the sage whenever he encountered the sheriff.
I was thinking that you might have stayed there for some reason. Maybe the sage kept you there and blabbered on about something useless.
Saloro may never leave.
Yeah.
We shall be together forever now.
Ken and Roberta Williams would like to thank Saloro.
It was kind of on the way anyway, so Arenoss thought he would just have a listen if people talked in there, and otherwise he would just get...
I'd like to think that Brodar doesn't even respond to the knock by Arenoss.
Basically,
No, I don't knock. I just stand outside and listen and then walk away.
if you don't hear insane shattering and arcane mutterings from inside,
Yep.
then you... Well,
Brodar is likely the type who talks to himself out loud. He's like, yes, yes, yes.
I guess. If he does, I will knock.
Yeah, you do hear him speak to himself, certainly. And when you knock, a very angry Broderick Quink opens the door. What?
But, I'm sorry. Is Saloro still here?
No?
Okay,
I'm
bye.
sorry.
Important research. Go away. And he closes the door. Mumbling to himself.
Arenoss will just
Old man is
blink.
definitely growing on me. I approve of this.
You can hear muttering, young people. And closes.
Arenoss is very shocked by this.
Scandalized by his behavior.
And then he will just walk away, I guess.
Who is he calling on? Why, I swear in mine.
Well, I said you go to the sawmill, so you're here now.
And just think, who the hell was he talking to? And then seem a bit suspicious, actually.
Saloro's actually in there, like, thanks. Appreciate it. He's like, oh, sure, no problem. I like telling the young people off every now and then. Right now, yes, Saloro, whoa.
Let's go back to these arcane mutterings, shall we?
That's right. I'd like to think, sometimes just imagine, like, the old man is actually hamming it up, like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Oh,
Fucking kids can't do a thing to me.
exactly. I'm impervious in here. Ah. Anyway, Arenoss might quite possibly catch a glimpse of the others heading up the street towards the garrison.